Hi, I'm Christopher Dunnigan. This is HandmadeInVermont.com, and today we're talking about the Hubbardton Forge Helix 14 light pendant. This is the 1374-31. There's also a smaller one of these. It's a 10 light. It's smaller, but it's actually longer coming down, but the diameter is smaller. Check that out too. So that one is a 1374-30. You should watch both videos because I'm probably going to go over things in both videos that are different from each other. So take advantage of that. Let's get into the size of this fixture to begin with. This is 14 inches high, and that's going to be the distance from the bottom socket to the top of the top socket. It's not going to include the light bulbs. Diameter is 37.6, so this is a nice, robust size for people that need it. However, its overall height starts pretty short, so you could use this in some applications if you have the ceiling height, like as a semi-flush. You know, if you have 9 or 10 foot ceilings, you could probably get away using this in a foyer if you wanted to, if you're going to be walking underneath it. Let's get into more on that. So when we get into overall height, we're really talking about the distance from the bottom of the fixture to the ceiling itself. And you have a range on this of 19.4 at its shortest, all the way to 55.4 at its longest, using the pipes that are going to be coming with this. If you need this to be longer than 55.4, it's super easy because this is going to come with 120 inches of wire. That's 10 feet. So tons of wire are going to come with it. That allows you to order an extra kit or two to use and to get you longer than that 55.4 without doing any customization. If you want to do that, drop a quick email to us, sales@HandmadeInVermont.com, and I can walk you through all that stuff. Tell me what you're looking for. Let's say you need this to be 74 or something like that. The other thing about this, when we do these pipes, Hubbardton Forge has a whole system of these interconnecting pipes, and how they work are, you have the train going by, so you might hear a horn going off. We're right by a train track. This is small town Vermont, don't forget. Okay, so you're going to be getting with this, you're going to have 3 of the 12-inch, you're going to have 1 of the 6-inch, 1 of the 3-inch, and then a bunch of these little connectors are going to put them all together. And that's going to be the same for the kits when they come with it. So you have that, and they just go together like this. Now let's check this out. So they go together super clean. You barely even see any kind of line there. I bet you can't even see it in the photograph, in the video, because I can barely see it here. So I think that's pretty cool. And when these go together, the best way to do it is to set the fixture itself down and then just sneak the wire through these pieces individually. So you're going to go through a connector, you're going to go through a pipe, through a connector, through a pipe, and eventually you're going to exit the canopy at the top and then screw them all together. And that's a really easy way to do it. It takes like just a couple minutes to put it together. Very, very simple. So easy to go. So beyond that, why don't we talk about a couple other things. So we'll talk about the canopy next. We'll put this down. Okay, canopy. It's going to be a 6.5 inch canopy. It's going to go over your, almost dropped that, 4.4 inch junction box. This is what you guys are going to have in your ceiling. It goes over it perfectly like that, but it's bigger than the one in this one I have here. This is a 5 inch, but you're going to be getting a 6.5 inch on this. Slope ceiling adaptable to 45 degrees already. So if you have a slope ceiling, there's a knuckle already built into the top of this, allowing it to go like that. Check that out. So you're fine there too. 17.2 pounds, so it's super light. There is no weight restrictions on this at all. Okay, so moving on from there, why don't we talk about sockets? Because you'll notice when you go back and forth and look at the video of the 10 light, they have a different bulb in there than the bulb that they're using on this one. So it's a candelabra socket. It's just a regular, smaller base socket, and we all grew up with these things. Chandeliers, most of the time I saw chandeliers that use this kind of smaller socket. However, you can use all kinds of different light bulbs in this. So in both of those videos on the 2 different ones, the 14 and the 10, you'll notice in one of them it's using like a super small bulb, and I'm not sure exactly what that bulb is. I hadn't really seen it before. It reminds me a lot of the little night light bulbs that are out there. It might just be a specialty bulb they put in to make it look a little different than the other bulb that most of you guys are going to be using as well, and that's going to be these kind of globe type of bulbs. So this is the size of a ping pong ball. It's called a G16. They are in every hardware store. They're in my grocery store. You know, they're everywhere. The drugstores, grocery stores, hardware stores. You can buy them online. G16, you're going to be maxing out of 40 watts for incandescent on this. But don't forget, you've got 14 lights on this. And so if you did 40 watts, what is that? 560 watts of light. It's very, very bright. You don't need to even go that much. You might even just scale that down to 20 watt incandescent, right? or you can do LEDs, which we'll be talking about in just a second. So these come in both frosted, they come in clear. It's totally up to you on that part, and they're very inexpensive and easy to get. So you can try them out and see what kind of different looks are going to work for you. Okay. So beyond that, let's talk about the LED version on these kind of bulbs. When you buy the LED versions, you're going to notice it's not a G16, it's a G16.5 for some reason. They added that 0.5 onto it. And there's no limit as far as the amount of wattage when you get into those LEDs, because they don't use practically anything compared to incandescent. So you're going to notice they're going to be like 4, 5, 6 watts, something like that. And most of these are going to max out about a 40 watt equivalent. So if I were you, I'd probably jump on the 40 watt equivalent bandwagon there and get these. I would probably also do a frosted one. I think it's just aesthetically more pleasing on this fixture. That's just me though. And I would have this in my home in a second. I think this is great. I have kind of a mid-century house, and I would love to have this fixture. Okay, so when we talk about light coming out of LEDs, we always talk about the difference between the light colors. 2700 Kelvin, that's that super yellow light. Way on the other side of this is called daylight, and daylight sounds like it's warm, but it's not. That's a cold hospital waiting room light. That's 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 Kelvin on the Kelvin scale, and that'll be listed on the box when you get this. When you're at the hardware store or home center or any place, you'll see it right on the side, a little chart, and it's going to have a little arrow on it, kind of where that bulb is on that spectrum. In the middle of all that is warm white, and warm white is 3,000 Kelvin. That's what we use in our showroom because it mimics an incandescent light we all grew up with. This is that nice warm light. This is a 3,000 Kelvin LED that's right above me. You probably didn't even know that. Most people think this is just an incandescent light coming down on me, but it's not. So it's a great way to go. It's also a dimmable fixture. So when you guys are out there looking for bulbs, very important, incandescents are always automatically dimmable. The LEDs, you really have to zero in and make sure it is a dimmable bulb. Let's get into finishes now. If you're on the HandmadeInVermont.com website, look over on this side of the screen. Midway down, you're going to see a tab. It's going to say Finishes Help Guide. Click on that for me. There's going to be a video on there of me talking to you guys about the differences in Hubbardton forged finishes and how they can look on different types of forging. I'm going to be talking about a chart a little farther down on the page. You'll see it next to me here. It's going to kind of go over the differences between heavy forging and non-heavy forging, and it'll be talked about in that video. So it's really important that you kind of watch the video, use the chart. You can click on that chart on different things. So you can click on dark smoke and a big page will pop up and show you lots of different things in dark smoke. Click on burnished steel or natural iron, it'll do the same thing. But it's really important that you understand how Hubbardton Forge's finishes are kind of divided into translucent and opaque and how they can look on different fixtures. Our showroom in Vermont has we're up to 400 Hubbardton Forge fixtures spread across 2 floors. We have a What's on Display page. It's way up there in those red tabs again, so click on that and you can see what we have to show you. That changes all the time because we're always adding things as they come out. Showroom's open every day except Sunday from 11 to 6. We have an amazing clearance center here too. Clearance center stuff is 75% off MSRP. It's returns, discontinued things, and showroom samples. If you were coming to visit us, bring a good-sized vehicle, something like a big SUV or maybe a small truck or something like that, because you might find something in the clearance center that you want to take home, and it's a lot of fun to go through. 75% off MSRP is an amazing bargain, so you should really take advantage of it if you can. Like I said, we're open every day except Sunday from 11 to 6. I'm here every day except Sunday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. You can call us at 802-446-2400 during business hours. You can email us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, all the time. We love to answer emails. When you buy your Hubbardton Forge fixtures from HandmadeInVermont.com, shipping is free to every state except Alaska and Hawaii. There's no tax if we ship out of the state of Vermont, and we're the only dealer with 90-day returns and no restocking fees. No one else even comes close to that. Some larger items are non-returnable. We'll always tell you about that. It'll be in the description thing, that part of the description underneath on the very bottom. So keep an eye out for that. We also offer a rush program. Hubbardton Forge generally takes about 3 to 4 weeks to get product out. They don't stock anything. That's how you're going to get all your finishes, your adjustable ranges to play with, all those things. We can cut that time in half, and it's super inexpensive. If you want to know more, drop a quick email, and I can walk you through the whole thing, okay? So, if you guys have any other questions, let me know. Love to see you in our showroom sometime, and have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.